Goff's start could not have been worse. 41 wins, 4 years, Super Bowl appearance, bounce back, taking control of the division.
And look, we had a conversation coming off a bad performance by Jared Goff. He's had a couple stinkers this year, right? The 49er game.
Bad stinkers.
He had a 49er game and a Miami Dolphin game, and a little bit of a Buffalo first half was kind of, weird. Hell of a quarterback, man. And I keep trying to tell people, hell of a quarterback. But, when people get something in their mind embedded in their head about who a person is, they're going to live with it. That's just the way it is. They go back to his rookie year, much like you mentioned, under Jeff Fisher. He didn't have a chance. In comes Sean McVay. The next thing you know, they go to the Super Bowl. He has a down season last year, but a good season, but just a down year compared to the Super Bowl year. This year, he was playing pretty good up until they hit a huge bump in the road against Miami, and then all of a sudden, the 49er game, he turns the ball over. I never for once put in my head that he was going to be benched or anything like that, because I know Sean McVay is going to fix it. And Jared Goff can't turn the football over. There's nothing. Every quarterback will tell you, when I turn the ball over, chances are my team's going to lose. Much like Torrey Holt said, if you look at the 4 years statistically, since everybody likes the analytics and look at the statistics, Jared Goff is on a trajectory of potentially being a Hall of Famer one day. If you just want to go pure on numbers and statistics, he will probably, if he stays the course, wins a championship or two, you're probably going to be looking at the dude in Canton.
Look, I was wrong.
Wrong about what?
No. I just want to set the precedent that it's okay to be wrong on the show sometimes.
Well, it's for you to say.
Well, yeah, because you think you're never wrong, Keyshawn. So that's your point. Look, there's a part of me that wants to root for Kyler Murray. But obviously what Key said the other day going into the game is that the scouting report is out on Kyler Murray, is something that paying attention to the game yesterday, seeing how small he is in the pocket and how intimidating the Rams defense actually is. Look, I've also said this about the Rams. That I actually think that they can win the Super Bowl depending upon if you get Jared Goff at a high level. He's been inconsistent. Their defense is something that I think is there. It's Jared Goff if he could bring that each and every day. As it relates to Kyler Murray, I mean, it's going to start to get tough now. And I think also just it's how he leads sometimes. I think when they get down, it seems like he gets pressured and he starts trying to do things outside himself. Granted, a lot of teams, I think, do this, Keyshawn. A lot of quarterbacks do this when they're down in games and they have to start throwing the ball. But it's interesting just kind of seeing some of his mannerisms after games. I want to see him win. I think it's going to be tough for him with that size.
Well, look, I don't really – his size doesn't bother me in terms of the system in which they run. He's made for this system. It's not a Kyler Murray thing with me so that people understand. It's a system thing. I hate the air raid. I cannot stand it. I don't believe you can win long-term in the National Football League with that style of offense. It puts too much pressure on your defense. When you get 3 and out, it's problematic. You get 5 and out. You turn the ball over. You give them a short field. You now have put your defense in harm's way. Time of possession is extremely important. And maybe I'm old school, traditional, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I'm caught up in dinosaur ages, even though I'm young, that I believe that you have to have some sort of traditional offense and defense in the National Football League to win. You cannot just expect for Kyler Murray to throw the ball all over the lot. Okay? You just can't, because there's some things that if you keep him inside the pocket, that interception is a perfect example. He thought that young man on the bow out would be wide open. They fooled him. They were in a zone defense, and he thought it was man-to-man because they carried him. The corner fell off, and then next thing you know, it's a pick six going the other way. That's because he couldn't see what was happening down the field. If you keep him in the pocket and don't allow him to get on the perimeter, a la the Buffalo Bills, and he wouldn't have, if they keep him in the pocket, the game's over. He doesn't throw the Hail Mary. They allowed him to get on the perimeter.
But Key, don't you think that's a matter of making reads to your progressions? Don't you think that still he has a major upside? Or do you think Kyler Murray's just never going to be he's never going to be a winner in that system? That's ultimately what you're saying.
Okay, the way that
he's still really young in the way that I
look at the way that I look at the system is that system to me is only good for 7, 8, 9 wins. It's not good for those 14, 15 wins that you will need to win a Super Bowl. The goal is to win a Super Bowl, I would think, in Arizona. The goal is to win a Super Bowl, not just to have a, be third in the division, win 8 games. Look, we made progress. That's not the goal. When they hired Cliff Kingsbury, the goal was to win a Super Bowl. When they traded Josh Rosen and went and got the Heisman Trophy winner that they could plug into a system that he was in college, whether it was Texas A&M or Oklahoma or high school, they said, okay, we got a dynamic guy who can run our offense, which is true. The problem is